All right, we're going to talk about how to spot a fake out, or in basic things that you should keep in mind when you are trading a range or when you're watching a range waiting for a breakout. So what you want to do first is you want to put your zones. So let's say we have this high that has been created, and then we have this low that has been created in our range. So it's called a 10 pip range. So what you want to do when you put your high and your low for your range, you want to also highlight a 10 pip range that you need to watch out for. So we'll say around this area could be our 10 pip range, right? And then we'll say around this area could be our 10 pip range. So if you don't know how to at least estimate what your 10 pip range could be, you could go on the 30-minute time frame and see what is the nearest area that price could reject. The nearest area the price could reject could be this one, right? And then if we're going to look at our high, we could say this around this area, right? That's where our range is. It's already rejecting here. So this is our nearest area price could reject if it broke out. So we're saying if price was to break out, is the nearest area that price can reject and pull back into the range. That would be this, which we got on our 30-minute time frame on our left. And the nearest area could also be this if price was to break out at the bottom. As you can see right here, price did break out. So that's what you're looking for. So when we go on to the time frame that we are watching, what we're saying is if I'm looking for a trade, right, and I'm waiting for price to break out so that I could enter at retest or wait for the retest and then enter, you want price to break out of the 10 pip range. That's where you want price to break out from. So if it breaks out of the 10 pip range, that's a confirmation that price has made a valid breakout. So you can then enter at retest, or you can wait and enter as it retests and rejects. Or not or actually, yes. If price breaks out, right, and then it stays in the 10 pip range, it breaks out but the candle closes in the 10 pip range, then that's not a valid breakout. You want to wait for price to break out of that 10 pip range first, and then you can enter at the breakout, or you can wait for the rejection. You can wait for price to try retest and reject it, and then you can enter then. But if price breaks out straight and it breaks out of the 10 pip range, then that's a valid breakout. We even have an example with this candle right here. See, this candle broke out, right? Even though it did not close out of our range, it did try breaking out, and it did not reach out of the 10 pip range. So that was a fake out. So if price was to break out this side and it reaches this area and it doesn't reach out of the 10 pip range, we won't say it's a fake out yet, but we will say it's a fake out once it has been confirmed by price closing back in the range. Then it becomes a fake out. So that's the things that you need to understand when you're watching a range. You need to keep that in mind, and you need to keep that in mind when you're looking out for a fake out, because price has to do a fake out. If it's gonna break out above, it's gonna do a fake out at the bottom for it to successfully break out above. If it's gonna break out at the bottom, it needs to do a fake out above for it to successfully break out at the bottom. Price needs to take out stop losses. It needs to make people open orders in the different direction, in the wrong direction, before it can go into the direction that it needs to go. So that's something that you need to watch out when you're trading ranges, or when you're looking out for fake outs.